One of the biggest tripwires, I think, that literally can blow up a family business. I wonder if you agree. The transition of leadership from one generation to another is a big tripwire. Do you agree?
I do. I think a lot of times that's what will cause the lawsuit that we eventually get. And it's a time when all of the sibling rivalry probably comes to play, and sometimes the best laid plans for the founder of the company just don't play out the way he thought. We had a case where the founder, the father, uh, wanted to pass the company on, and he actually, I think, had his kids placed in the spots they really belonged in. The one with the most business acumen was the CEO, and the father passed along to him the more voting stock than the other kids got. And our client was in the field, in the operations of the business. Two of the kids were not involved in the business at all, really didn't have an interest in the business. And then the fifth one was the marketing person for the company. And so it was interesting that the CEO of the company, because he had more voting shares, really was stacking the board in his favor, with a goal towards, in what we found in the end, really forcing his siblings out. He forced the two out who weren't involved in the business, probably for less than what they ought to have received had they hired us. I think they would have gotten more for their shares, and then went after our client. And in the end, I think the father, the founder of the company, really regretted having set up the company the way he did. In fact, he told us he wished he had retained the voting shares of the company so that this didn't happen.